I Am a Teacher by Michelle Mijares. With several types of learning styles, it is important to incorporate different techniques throughout the day. Not all students learn the same, and catering to their styles can increase learning retention. In order to increase my retention in my classroom, I will make it a goal of mine to have at least 2 different ways to complete a task. For example, if students are tasked with learning how to transplant a plant, my students will have the option of transplanting an actual plant or watching a YouTube video on how to. My students will achieve the same outcome but have an opportunity to make a choice on how they receive the information. Another important technique I will incorporate in my classroom is making sure my students have downtime. I do not see downtime as wasted time, but rather time for my students to reset and recharge for the next activity. Some examples of this are breathing techniques, stretching, or reading a short story. Catering to your students' needs is important because every child learns differently. Giving my students confidence. Helping students gain confidence to take risks stems from the teacher. As a teacher, I hope that I will be able to do this by demonstrating 4 important traits. These traits can be life-changing for students. The first trait I would like to demonstrate is safety. When a child feels emotionally, physically, and intellectually safe, they gain the confidence to try new things, because fear of failing is non-existent. The second trait is passion. As a passionate teacher, I will create engaging lessons for my students. These lessons will show students that I care about their education. Another important trait is patience. Learning happens at different times for students, and being patient gives the student an opportunity to make mistakes. When students have the opportunity to make mistakes, they are able to learn without the pressure of stress. Along with patience, I will show my students that I believe in them. When a teacher believes in a student, they believe it too. With this belief, students become invincible. I feel that demonstrating these 4 traits in my classroom will give my students the confidence they need to take risks. Classroom climate. The climate of my classroom will be set by the traits I will demonstrate in my classroom. The 4 traits being safety, passion, patience, and believing in my students. My students will know that my room is a safe place where learning and growth will occur. I will also let it be known that bullying will not be tolerated. I will take this serious by following through with my policy. No matter how big or small the issue may seem, it is important to the student and the issue will be resolved. Being a team player. My role as a colleague is to be a team player. I will be a team player by embracing all new ideas that come my way. I will believe in the new standards and make it important to learn them properly. I feel that students sense when a teacher doesn't find something to have importance, and when the teacher doesn't believe in it. I also believe that learning never ends. Along with learning the new standards, I find it important to learn what your students like outside of school. It will be important to embrace my students' outside world when appropriate to build rapport. This rapport will help me understand my students deeper and give me the ability to know when I can push my students just a little more to increase their abilities.